Hey guys, Judy Haddad, owner of Orange Purple Passions, My Healing LLC, and founder and executive director of 5 Purple Oranges, the charity I founded after my son and I were hit by a truck in Dodge County, Wisconsin, and he was killed. So, once again, all these notes for a video, but just the universe has been speaking to me again. So, with the anniversary, I think it was on the anniversary of Jamal Khashoggi's murder, I was reading my notes from court, and I haven't had time to compare my notes from sentencing to the transcripts I got because I know they're not going to be the same, but I've been wanting to do that. And then the trial in Texas came up and the sentencing for Amber Geiger, and that one, all of that sort of combined for what I wanted to talk to you about today, which was basically forgiveness and taking responsibility. So I've been looking upon my notes. The thing that bothered me the most in court was being told by the lawyer, and I think even the DA at one point, that this was Alon's killer was taking responsibility. And I've said this to you before. In my mind, when I listen to his interviews by the police, when I read what he said at the scene, when I even listen to what he was saying in court, he's never once took responsibility. He did admit that he didn't at all look at what was happening on the road in front of him, but he never took responsibility. When you plead no contest, that's not saying, hi, I'm guilty. If he had pled guilty instead of no contest, I think I would have found that easier. But instead, not only did he plead no contest, his lawyer went about listing 15 million reasons why he shouldn't be held responsible. One of them was that he took responsibility, which again, I'm telling you, he didn't. He never showed remorse. In my mind, not once showed an ounce of remorse. He was talking about how, we should feel sorry for him because he's older, his health isn't doing well, he had to give up his job. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. You could no longer drive a semi-truck now that you killed my child. Let me cry for you. There were other little things like that came up in court that drove me crazy. They didn't even want to acknowledge to what the investigators had found to be his speed. There was no sense of the word did he take responsibility or show remorse. And to this day, I have not found forgiveness for him in my heart. I also don't really think about him too much. I've had to forgive other people who wronged me more. I mean, I know that sounds insane because he killed my child, but it's not something, I know forgiveness is for me and not for him, but it's not something I've struggled with. He just never took responsibility. I will say there was a lot in there that I wish that had been brought up in court. Like the company never took responsibility either. They were able to just pay me off out of an insurance claim and never took responsibility for claiming he was a safe driver, even though they knew he had points against his record. Never giving him any sort of safety training at all. Like no one in the case of my child's death, no one took responsibility. And, I know I talk a lot about how I feel about the way the case went in court and what I wish the DA would have done. But I will say, I want to give the DA and the judge credit for noticing that Alon was a special person and did mean a lot to a lot of people. And I think we must have had, in my mind, what I felt was a really small number of people in support of my family. But we had a huge letter writing campaign from a lot of his friends, children writing letters and their parents. And people who knew him in a variety of ways. And I think that struck a chord. I know it resonated with the judge. So I do thank the DA for, I haven't reread the transcript, but I know at some point he mentioned how he felt Alon was special. So I'm going to tie this in a little bit to Amber, I think it's Geiger, right? Her sentencing. I don't believe at all she took responsibility or felt regret at the scene. There's a lot about her character that is unsavory, but I don't hold it against both on Jean's brother for hugging her at sentencing. That's what he felt he needed to do. And at 18, that's an amazing, amazing sign of humanity and maturity. And I'll say this, whatever happened on the scene and whatever happened up to her court case, what we saw in court was someone, even if it was phony, was someone who was showing regret and who was in some manner taking responsibility. And I don't think, when I think about if I ever took a life, what that would do to me, I don't think I could live with that in so many ways. And so whatever you think of the sentence, I do believe in my heart that she's not taking it lightly that she took a life. And I think I probably would have reacted more like the mother than the brother, but at some point we all have to remember that we're all human and that it's better to rise above. And I'm not always there. And it does, it's how many years later, and it still bothers me that what was said in court by the lawyer, by the man who killed my child. But that's okay. That's okay. Because I'm still growing too. I may not have the maturity of that sweet 18-year-old boy, but I can certainly understand his impetus for wanting to forgive and wanting to hug that young lady. So that's it for today. I wanted to just thank you for jumping on here once again and for all your support. And please share, like, subscribe. It's how I get a chance to do these for you. You're keeping me rolling, and I appreciate all the feedback I'm receiving. Bye.